Can't see you. Oh, there we go.
Yes, we are live.
We made it.
Oh man, I'm like, I may have to consider just always being at my office because lately the internet here has not been okay.
Yeah.
Although most of the time it's completely fine. But there must be high demand somewhere at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. So
I
who knows?
know.
But we apologize to anybody listening if my face freezes. Hopefully it's in a really funny face so that you can just laugh and laugh.
Right, exactly.
It's all good. It's all good.
It is. We'll do our best. It's all good.
That's all we can ever do. You know, the technology gods, they do what they want to do. Have no control over them. And we just, you know, it's a lesson. Hello, Pam, birthday girl. Happy yesterday birthday.
Happy birthday, Pam. Yay.
I love when our listeners say hello. So we know, because like I can see that people are watching us. I just can't see who it is unless they comment. So I really love when people comment when they're on, so I can, so we can give you a shout out for listening, and also so we know who's there. We know who's paying attention, who's listening, who cares what we have to say.
Yes. There's a few tuning in.
There are a few. I don't know if any of these people are on listening, but I brought a special mug just to say I love you, because so I do women's networking stuff. I was a part of this thing called BNI for 8 years, and while I love men and I do work with men, and men tune in and listen to the show, men come to the events. We haven't included men in retreats yet, but if y'all want us to do a men's retreat or a co-ed retreat, let me know and we'll make it happen. But last year I made the decision, like, I need to focus on networking specifically in women's groups because the majority of our audience is women. And so one of the groups that I'm a part of, we had our meetings this morning, and one thing I love about this group is that it's not just networking and passing cards and who are you, what do you do, you know, what can you do for me, who can you refer to me. It's the woman who leads it dives into issues around money and abundance and success and those kinds of things. So besides doing the networking, we also do activities to heal our money wounds, our wealth wounds. And so this morning we were talking about again, childhood wounds, and my childhood was so blessed. I don't have a lot of wounds in my childhood. And I'm going to put out there, one of my biggest childhood wounds was in the second grade. I was standing in line waiting to check out my library books. And I needed to pee. But I was like near the front of the line and I didn't want to lose my space in line. So I was like, I can hold it until I get my books checked out, and then I'll go to the bathroom. Well, they were taking too long and I couldn't hold it. So I peed my pants in the library in second grade.
Aww.
And if that wasn't traumatic enough, one of the girls in my class made up a song about me peeing my pants.
Oh.
And that song, they carried it for years. And the only thing that saved me was my dad got a different job when I was 14 and we had to move to a different city. And so obviously in the new city, nobody knew. I wore my pants in second grade in the library. Nobody knew the song. So the song went away.
Good.
And, you know, so bringing it up again, like I identified like feeling betrayed, that I had never thought of it in that way before, that these people were my friends and look what they did to me. And like me, the person that was not the person that made fun of people or put people down. Like I was the person that tried to include people and make people feel good. And so then she's like, well, dig deeper than the betrayal. And I was like, I hate you all. I hate the humans. They're disgusting beings. They're just so awful. I hate you. And I love you too. Like, I do love humans and I hate you at the same time. It's a both. It's a both. It's a both.
You love that both. And I love when you use it, because you can hold both at the same time and then walk through life holding both. And that's been a theme for me this week. But can I just show you my mug, since we both have words on ours? So mine says,
no matter how hard life gets, at least you don't have ugly children. Who gave that to you?
Who gave that to me, Gianna? So thank you, daughter. I'm using your mug. And she's part of my, the topic today fits so perfectly with her and this. And so, you know, it was organic because I grabbed it and I went, perfect, you know how that goes. So, hey, I've been dealing with my childhood wounds for a long, long time. Not to get too, but you know, I'm doing it again today, actually. I've got the abandonment issue. I won't get into my whole story, so we can get into the grounding that we're going to talk about. But the things that we do in spiritual community surely help with my wounds, because from time to time, I do need to recognize them and realize, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to act? How am I going to react? God bless, God bless, God bless. Yeah, you good? So, you know.
I muted myself so nobody had to listen to it, but as I'm coughing over here, everything's fine. Just a little cow tickle in the back of my throat. But yeah, I think that's important for people to understand, that like healing these wounds is an ongoing process. It's not like you just one and done and it's all good. Like, and sometimes it's recognizing like the layers of it. Like, you know, yeah, that sucked. And probably the first layer of it was that I was embarrassed, you know.
Yeah.
Like I got no my embarrassment aspect of it. But then, you know, seeing that betrayal layer that I hadn't really acknowledged before, like I know that's clearing out more of it. And so everything does have layers, and even when you think that you've cleared something out, it comes back again. Look at a different layer of it or a different perspective of it. You know, there's always something more, and honor that and be okay with that. Like it's not a straight road. It's not, there's no like finish line either. So you just go with it and appreciate each lesson that comes along the way.
Yes. Yep. You may get triggered and you think the trigger's gone. You're like, where did that come from? I thought I was done with this 10 years ago. And man, I had my share of therapy and share of working things through. And then, you know, you fast forward a few years later and you think you've dealt with everything and something triggers you you know, but the more conscious you become of your wounds and your past and, you know, how you have gotten to this point, you deal with it differently. And that's the key of acknowledging that you are growing, you are working on it. It's not just because it's there still, it's because now you know how you've grown from year 20 years old, whatever, to year 40 or 50. Much better, much better. Still there, but you can work with it. And you really have compassion for people that have the same thing going on. So, I mean, we could always offer that too, because from that older person experiential way.
So, but we can this into the topic too, is the more grounded you are, the better you can work through these things. And so for those that don't know, I do a monthly chakra balancing class, workshop, fun evening event.
Fun. It is fun.
For the new moon, every month. And so this past event, Doris was there, and you brought through a message that has come through to me in many different ways. And speaking of grounding, and so I was like, you know what, this is a really good topic for us to talk about, especially in the spiritual communities, because we all just want to ascend, and we want to be up in our upper chakras, in our third eye and our crown chakra. And yeah, that's great. And you got this message was that Saturday? Yeah, right?
Saturday morning. Yes.
It was Saturday.
Yep. Saturday morning,
and Pam was there. Thank you for thinking. It was phenomenal. I really profoundly got this message during a breathwork session. I don't know, I think that was like 3 years ago. But and what was interesting for me is that people always perceive me as grounded. I feel myself that I'm grounded. And so it was never really a focus for me to think about grounding. And then, the message came in, like, you want to go higher, and it's great that you're grounded, but the more you ground, the higher you can go. And so the only way for you to go higher is to ground more. And there's always, no one is ever 100% fully perfectly grounded. There's always the ability to do more, do better, do whatever.
Yes.
So
yes. So
I think that's important for people. Was there any nuance to that in what you received this weekend that I didn't share?
No, yeah, there definitely. Thank you for sharing. You had the same message, because you did say that once I was talking about my message. And I love that you had us pull one of the beautiful stones that you brought. So you brought some of your collection so we could really have a nice chunk with us, working with the stones while you taught us about all the chakras. So and it's not inadvertently and it's not unconsciously. I mean, I was guided actually to pick up the fire agate, which is a grounding stone. And, so that supported this deep dive into grounding, and then picking a card. So you had all your chakra cards that are out, and we got to pick a card, which is also fun. And then, of course, hammers it home for what I have to deal with, right? Forgiveness was, the message. And, when I thought about forgiving myself, it, brought me to this life and the past and the things I have to forgive to be more grounded, because if I have trouble in my inner workings, in my mind, in my heart, in my spirit, in my body, I have all this angst and discord and no forgiveness for certain things. I can't ground. And so anyway, that was the piece that I loved. It was the stone with the card and the message, because when I'm at peace with myself and forgive myself, I can then be feeling more grounded and safe. So safety is one of those base root chakra feelings, I guess, if you will. And it just kind of tied it up in a nice little package in a bow. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that you added that piece in there, because oftentimes when we're thinking about the chakras, we're thinking of them individually, and they don't work separate from each other.
No,
correct. That's like our Western medicine. They want this doctor to take care of that body part and that one to take care of that body part, and they're looking at them as completely independent systems. And the truth is, they're all interconnected. And so the same things with our chakras, like each one has its primary function, but they all do influence each other. And so sometimes too, like when we're thinking about like, I need to get more grounded, we're just thinking about the grounding, but maybe it is that we need to do some forgiving before we can ground, or, you know, boost our confidence so that we can ground. Like they all go together. And so if
They
you're
do.
struggling with one, it might be not so much that you just have to focus on that particular chakra, but maybe it's the function of one of the other chakras that's impeding that function.
Yes.
I do also want to talk about, you know, because grounding is a word that just gets thrown around a lot. And like people ask me all the time about the grounding sheets and the grounding shoes. And, you know,
you're gonna.
I'm going to laugh. What are you going to show me? What are you going to show us?
A grounding shoes. Right? Sorry.
You know, and they're fine. Like I have nothing against these things, but for me, the truth is they're not going to provide like that true embodied grounding that we need.
No.
And like the grounding that I'm talking about is an inside job, not an outside job. And while yes, like, you know, people too will be like, go outside, walk barefoot in the dirt. Absolutely go outside and walk barefoot in the dirt. That is fantastic. And you also have to connect that to your body and embody that. Like just the act of going out and putting your feet in the dirt or hugging a tree, or like those things aren't going to support the embodiment of being guarded.
No.
Of being grounded.
Being grounded. Right. That's true.
So
I know. And you know what? What does the grounding do? The grounding, when you go outside and you put your feet in the grass or in the dirt, you're slowing down. You're taking a breath. You're kind of, okay, I'm nourishing myself. I'm getting into a peaceful state. I'm trying to connect to the earth. All these things, all these little tidbits and ways that we're taught to ground is really connecting, right? So we connect to our human body, we're connecting to the earth, we're connecting to people in real life. That really takes us, away from all the distractions that we constantly have. How many of us are constantly on our phones, are constantly doing other things and never simply taking the time to feel our nervous system, and feel what's going on inside of us. And I think that's where the practices come in. I think that's why it started. But go ahead.
And I love it. You brought the word connection. And so for me, like visually, when I think of grounding, I do think of rooting and connecting. And then it makes me think of the trees and the plants and the roots underneath and the mycelium, and how they are all connected. And so, this plant, you can see it up above the ground and it's this individual standing thing. But then if you go underneath, like all of the roots of all of the plants are all intertwined and connecting, and they're communicating with each other, and they're supporting each other, and they're nourishing each other. It's so interesting to me, as they do more and more research on plants, and like how they find that like the mother tree will do things underground to support the growth of the baby trees.
Yes.
And
right.
So
cool.
But just understanding like too, that the more that we ground, the more that we can connect with each other and nourish each other and nurture each other and support. And so it's almost to me like, I think so often we think of our connection through the heart chakra and loving each other, and through the throat chakra and how we communicate there. But I really think for us to be able to truly connect and bond with each other, like we do, the more grounded we are, the easier that is as well.
Absolutely. 100%. And before you pass over the mycelium, I just want to do a shout out to Fantastic Fungi. And if you haven't seen that movie, watch it, because it really truly is amazing how much, research has been done. And I forget his name. I want to say Paul, but anyway, they do a fantastic job of showing the network underneath and really how vast it is. And I think I read somewhere it was like 2,200 acres was the largest one in North America, I think in the Pacific Northwest. But I love when we do Sweat Lodge for that reason, because we're really sitting there, we're in the ground, we're feeling the earth, we're, feeling the steam from the stones and the fire and the smoke and everything, that it's so earthy. We feel the wind, we feel the four directions, right? I just love some of the practices that really take us to the grounding with each other. And so, we've got a lot of the chakras working all together. We've got the grounding, the root chakra. We've got the creativity of our singing, the voice, our communication, because we speak and we pray, and our heart, it is heart-centered, what we say. So, and as we're taking care of the lower chakras, it's like, okay, the upper chakras are reaching up for ascension. It happens so much easier. I don't know, I just thought of that just now. Oh, I think we lost Julietta. So I'll just keep on going. So thank you for staying with us. Like, where'd she go? But anyway, so the grounding aspects that we have going on in community, I think she's going to come back any second. There she is. I was like, the grounding aspects.
I was projecting to you. Just keep talking.
Yes, I was.
Just keep talking. I'll be right back.
I gotcha.
So yeah, we have what's up with this internet, but next week I'm just gonna go to my office to do this, and it'll be fine.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, I do love that you talking about the Sweat Lodge is such a beautiful place, like, because we are sitting on the earth, and there is something so grounding about that experience. But it is a prayer ceremony, and so it is also about the upper chakra. And so of course it's easier in there when we're doing that, connecting, grounding with the elements, and connecting with source, creator, God, whatever word terminology works for you. But so just for our audience, like, we've mentioned a bunch of them, but I think it's nice to share, because some people, like, the thought of grounding is new to them. And so what are some of your favorite practices to support you in being grounded?
So I mentioned one just now. I love Sweat Lodge, and I love grounding in Sweat Lodge. I love grounding when we're in our community circles like we just did. I felt grounded as I was working through with your chakra balancing class and the meditation, the guided meditation. I was going down as much as I was going up and trying to connect, all the chakras. So, because I do want to spend time in the ascension world, and I think I said it that day, but I don't want to spiritually bypass anything, because I want to keep the human experience as this grounded way or state of being in the world. And when I feel like I'm doing that, love and light to everybody, because that's what I want to do, and unity and this and that, and I could preach that till I'm blue in the face. But what's funny is and I just thought of it now, I'm like, one of the grounding techniques that I have is being with my family, especially with my kids, like my daughter, because some of the people that are very grounded, and you are grounded too, Julietta, by the way, but you can go in either direction, so I can have fun with you in either direction. But when I'm with my family, there is a lot of grounded experience just through relationship. And I think about people going into that spiritual bypassing and ascending and having visions and doing psychedelics, and they're channeling and doing the kundalini, all the fun stuff I want to do. But then my daughter will say something and boom, I am grounded in a moment. Because I'll say something in a conversation and, I'll say, oh yeah, I got that hit. She knows I mean psychic hit. She goes, what are you talking about? I said it, but, and I was like, all right, forget it. But like saying, okay, before you said that, I was thinking, because what came to me was, but I don't go there. I just let it be. And I'm like, get a hold of yourself. This is not the conversation for this moment. And so every time I have a conversation like that, I go, bring it back down to the ground. But, in essence, I do have a little bit of, grounding practice. If I sit, if I do any meditation, I'm on the ground. If I go outside, I want to sit and feel the grass. I don't put my shoes on. Those grounding shoes were kind of a joke because they're really stupidly expensive. Just go out in your bare feet. So anyway, I do go out in my bare feet. I do sit in the grass, and, I do try to connect and just be quiet and listen. One of my favorite things to do is to listen to the birds sing. So, that I would say out of a practice that happens regularly, that would be it. I want to ask you the same question.
Yes, so all great. And my number one thing is always breath. Like when I need to ground, I breathe deep. I breathe into that root chakra at the base of your spine. Just some nice deep breaths there. That's like my go-to, like my rescue me everything.
Yeah.
Just take a breath. Take a breath.
Yeah.
Be present. And then of course, like crystals are my jam. I'm always wearing crystals and gemstones, working with them, creating with them. And because they are Mother Earth. And so part of the reason that we were doing all of this grounding work at this last class was that it was the Taurus new moon, which is a very earthy, grounded new moon. And so I'm like, yeah, let's really connect into this earth grounded space for it. So yes, crystals are definitely there for me. Obviously meditation, and there's so many, there's so much judgment and dogma and all this kind of crap around meditation. Meditation can look like whatever it looks like and feels like best for you. There's a million different ways to do it. When someone tells you my way is the only way, my way is the best way, it might be the only way and the best way for them, but it's not the only way and the best way. And so if you have these ideas about meditation and you're like, no, sitting quiet for, an hour, that's not for me. Well, no, you can even just sit quiet for 2 minutes, or you can sit and listen to meditative music for 2 minutes, or you can pull up a guided meditation on YouTube or Insight Timer or any of the other cajillion places that you can find recorded meditations. And there are some on our channel here that I've made for you that you can check out. But there's so many different ways of doing this, and that's why I wanted you to share some of your ways. And even what we're listing here, there's other things that I know that I do that I haven't put out there and shared right now. Yes, being out in nature, and I am totally a barefoot girl. Although my fully mulched lawn sometimes is not super friendly to my bare feet, but but I do like my feet in the dirt.
I do too.
And so there's lots of ways to do this. So Pam is sharing with us. She loves to take a hot bath in Epsom salt, baking soda, and essential oil while listening to beautiful music and affirmations and mantras.
I love it.
Yeah, that.
Love it.
Right?
I love it.
I mean, my only thing I will say, I would love a bath if they made a bathtub long enough, deep enough, because I get in a bath and
Yeah.
Always half of my body. If my legs are in the water, my body's out of the water. If my body's in the water, my legs are out of the water. So
I got you.
one day I'll have a home with one of those giant deep tubs, and maybe then I'll enjoy it. But
hot tub. Pam, thank you for that. I love it. And I have to say, because I missed this one. This is my most important every single morning meditation is a singing meditation. I didn't realize this, but years ago, and Matthew, I'll give him props for this one. I'm like, I can't sit still. I can't meditate. I can't do what you do. I can't sit there for 15, 20 minutes, be still. And lo and behold, he would hear me every morning. I'm singing and toning with this music, and it's always, prayerful, spiritual music. So I'm like, oh, I have a singing meditation. And I listen. Everything is all about the listening for me. So if I hear the tones, the vibrations, the frequencies that are coming through, that is my favorite meditation. And I didn't even realize that was one. Right? Until somebody kind of said, hello, that's what you're doing every morning.
yes.
So, but anyway, that's that.
I feel like we've grounded out this grounded topic here.
We're all grounded.
But we'd love to hear from you. Like, do you have a method to work on grounding that we didn't bring up today that you want to share with people? Put that in the comments or send it to us. If you are curious and want to learn more about the chakras and the root chakra and how to connect to that and ground, I would love to have you in one of my classes. The next new moon will be the next one. And there is so much information out there. Like there is no reason to not just hit the search, whether it's in YouTube or Google, or ask your AI. And I know there's a lot of controversy around all of that stuff, but it's a place to start and it's a place to connect. And I truly believe that when you understand these things and when you understand the benefits of being grounded, it's such a powerful tool to make floating through this 3D human existence that we're experiencing right now. It makes it much easier.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Give it a try. Check it out.
So many benefits. So many health benefits. Yes, please do. Dive in. See how it feels. Because we all want health and well-being for everybody.
Absolutely. Yes. So, all right. With that, I'm going to wish everybody a magical day.
Okay. Ciao for now. We good?